Reddit stories, nothing more entertaining than hearing about someone else's misery from the third person. Today we are going to be reading a few Am I the Butthole? Art-related stories, and I'm gonna give you my perspective on them. Well, you yell at me in the comments about how I'm an imbecile or something. Make it creative. I'm Saba Black Sheep. Have any soul? No sir, but today I have a few stories to regale you with this evening. Am I the asshole for charging my family for my art? I, 20 female, have been drawing since I was 13. I'm very passionate about my art and finally decided to pursue an art career in it. My family has been very supportive throughout my art adventure, and still are. However, they always ask me to draw stuff and make stuff for them. Usually I never had a problem with it. Since I'd been drawing, I've always made them what they wanted. I loved doing art, so I didn't see a problem in it. However, several years of giving out free art, I'm starting to get sick of it. I've never gotten paid for anything I've made for my family, and at first, I never cared. Now I'm struggling. I'm wasting my supplies on them without any reimbursing. My sister, 24 female, asked me to paint her a realistic portrait with oil paint, and I said, okay, but I'm going to charge her $30 for it. She flipped out. She said I was completely selfish and stuck up. She also went on to say that my art wasn't even good enough to get paid for. That absolutely crushed me. She then went to my parents and told them how I'm charging her, and they're saying I'm being selfish and ridiculous. I feel like I'm going crazy. I really don't think I'm out of line, but everyone thinks I'm an asshole for it. I wanted to get some outside opinion, so anything would be helpful. Now, to be frank, this is a little morally ambiguous. I don't think OP is an asshole at all. However, I recognize the family's perspective, as most older generations have quite a different perspective on art than we do now. They clearly love and support OP and think they're doing so by giving her purpose through asking for art. And now that support requires a paywall. They feel as though OP isn't appreciating their support, probably. Raging about how Adobe has a paywall now, and now their own kid has one too. I think we should start paywalling children. To be fair, I think children are already paywalled. The massive fault here is the family doesn't realize how much of art is just work when it comes down to like requested pieces. I think OP should try to explain what making art is like for her, how much it costs, and why that she's asking for some money. And honestly, $30 is really cheap for an art piece. So especially a physical one made out of oil paint. I don't know what their art style looks like, so who knows, but, High chance they're not gonna listen, but, sometimes they will. I know my family would listen. That or just not care. The sister is, definitely overreacting and coming across very entitled. But I don't think anyone here is irredeemable. I think it's just a conflict of differing value systems and lived experience. Am I the asshole made aunt art for her book, and she wouldn't let me post it online, so I didn't want to make art for her next book. Last summer, I was commissioned by my aunt to draw images for her new children's book. I did around 20 images and spent practically the whole summer on them, as well as typesetting, designing the entire thing. Throughout the process, she was incredibly difficult to work with and had very intense specifications and controlled everything about the art. And I did that for her. She was not directly paying me. All the art and design was paid by my mom, the owner of the publishing company, as a gift to her. After the fact, I asked her if I could post the art online because I was proud of it and wanted to include it in my portfolio. She said no because she hates social media. Now she's working on a new book and she wants me to do art again for it. I asked her if I would be able to post the art from it, and she said yes as long as her name wasn't connected to it. My mother told me I was being too aggressive, and that I was forcing her into letting me post my art because I had hinted at not wanting to do the art for future books if she didn't let me post it. I spent hours of time on the art, which she didn't directly pay me for. She has no idea how long it takes, and my portfolio is a collection of work which I could potentially use to get more commissions in the future. If she herself had directly paid me, I wouldn't care as much, but this was a gift to her. Anyway, I need a judgment. Am I being selfish, or am I right? I understand that I may seem a bit unreasonable, but my art means a lot to me. As an artist that does commissions pretty frequently, I can understand how mind-numbingly annoying this would be, especially since the only excuse the aunt gave is that she doesn't like social media. Think about it. What would OP get out of it by posting it? Possibly new clients, interest in sales on the book, new followers and engagement that could boost OP's career, new jobs from that professional portfolio. What the aunt would get out of the post: more sales, the reminder that social media exists. Honestly, it comes across that the aunt is being selfish here. However, I don't think the aunt fully realizes that. She hasn't grown up in a time where the online sphere is often the only way an independent artist can get work. She probably doesn't realize how integral social media is in this day and age. So I wouldn't call her an asshole, just kind of foolish. The mom pointing the finger at her kid comes across more questionable because she should not assume she knows everything about the artistic cultural sphere. I oftentimes see people speaking on career paths and the environment and etiquette around them while not knowing anything about them, rather just pulling a moral judgment instead of just admitting they don't know. It comes across as arrogant, but honestly, all of us can do that at times. I just think the older generation here in this situation is just a little dense is all, and should just have more patience and understanding for themselves and the people around them. If you're enjoying my video, consider liking and subscribing. Or check out my webcomic Penelope's Peon, posted on Tapas, link below. Or join our 17+ Discord server to meet a bunch of cool artists and get your art in the next video. Without further ado, we continue. Am I the asshole for asking an artist to remove their signature from the art I commissioned? Throwaway, as I wish to remain anonymous from the artist, they're on Reddit. I found an artist I really enjoy and commissioned them recently. I want to preface with the fact that everything went extremely smoothly so far. I am very happy with the outcome, and the art is exactly what I pictured. Only one issue though, they left their signature on it. To be fair, it's small and off to the corner, not very noticeable. I just feel like it's unprofessional. As I commissioned them, the artwork does not belong to them anymore. I asked if they will remove it for me, but they seemed kinda annoyed and asked me if I read their TOS. Admittedly, I skimmed, where apparently they state that they will not remove their signature. I told them what I said above, which is that I own the art now. They then told me I somehow don't, and then quoted me a huge markup price for commercial rights. And they only removed their signature for that purpose. I said I don't need commercial rights and tried to compromise by offering to send them $5 to remove it, which is utter BS in the first place. I shouldn't have to pay extra for this. They refused, and I had essentially told the artist that if they don't remove it, then I'm just gonna Photoshop it out myself. Considering that it's mine, I can do whatever I want with it. They then informed me that I will be blacklisted from commissioning them if I did so. Spoiler alert, I did it, and now I'm blocked. Brother, what in the mother-in-law? What is wrong with you? Look, on my commissions, I don't tend to add my signature because I don't care that much, to be honest. But for those that do, that's okay, and honestly probably smart. He said the signature was small and indiscriminate, so the only real reason he's throwing a hissy fit is the fact that they just didn't do what he wanted. He sounds like an entitled sphincter. If they skimmed the TOS and didn't see the clause, it's his fault, end of story. Not to mention, of course, commercial rights would cost more. That's not strange. Of course they'd cost more. Him editing the signature out is just beyond rude, especially since him taking that out is breaking the TOS, which could, get him in legal trouble. What type of imbecilic dog do you have to be to act this inconsiderate to your artist? Especially over something so small. Like, a small part of me vaguely gets it because, yeah, you paid for it, but brother, you didn't read the damn terms of service before buying the service. Artist TOSs are short too, normally. So him whining about it is insane. Like, just spend 2 minutes reading it. Oh my god. Am I the asshole for asking my friend not to use me in her art? An old friend of mine just notified me that she was writing a play with the hopes of getting it produced by a reputable theater in her town. The problem is that one of the 3 characters in the play is based on me, and the name of the character is my full name, first and last. I told her I was uncomfortable with her using my name and asked her to please change it. She said no and insisted that she had every right to use my name. I'm a very private person, and this friend knows that about me and pointed out that the character based on me is also private, and this somehow makes her play meta and hilarious. She seems a little amused by my objections to her using my name. She also seems indignant that I would ask her to use a different name for this character, claiming that it was her right as an artist to use whatever part of her life she wanted, including me, and that I was trying to encroach on her artistic freedom, more like autistic. So, am I the asshole for asking her not to use my name? Oh yes, the art before humanity type artist. No, OP isn't in the wrong. I do think the writer can write a character inspired off of OP, but giving it the same name is kind of insane. OP has full rights to her privacy, and I'm utterly confused why the friend is so insistent about using her personal information. I wonder if it's just some weird power play and she's just convinced herself it's for artistic integrity. If anything, it seems less artistic. Art is interpreting and building upon her reality. Her refusing to just create a new name or reinvent aspects of the story is in poor artistic taste, in my opinion. And this whole concept of it being like a meta joke because like, oh, the character is a private person, but then the character is encroaching on someone else's privacy. Like, that's only funny to you. Like, no one else is gonna know that it's literally just the exact name from the person. You're doing this for no one but yourself. You're selfish. Even stories that are real are embellished and framed artistically. Taking reality for exactly what it is boring. But I didn't read the script, so I don't know how she wrote it. Maybe it was literally just written like that to be a joke. However, with the entitled attitude of the friend, I can't say I'm surprised at the indignant behavior. If you like this style of video, let me know, and I'll make more. Tell me your opinions on the stories in the comments below, and we can have a chat about it. That's all I have for today, folks. If you like my art, consider commissioning me. You can reach out to me on Discord. Check out the Patreon for weekly exclusive Discord streams where I draw whatever you want. You got work tomorrow, or school, or reading some good old Reddit stories. But as always, don't dream about wheat-based byproducts. Moi, je m'appelle Mademoiselle Noire, et qu'on va pour la voix,